My name is Christopher. I'm a laser artist. I got started actually building laser equipment to do some photography projects that I was working on, recreating rock art in laser projection. And I was originally going out in the desert and drawing petroglyphs on rocks with fluorescent chalk and then lighting them up with ultraviolet lights. But I was living in Arizona at the time, and in the summertime of Arizona when it's 115 and there's scorpions and rattlesnakes and sunstroke and things trying to ruin your day, I decided it wasn't really the best approach, and so I started building laser projection equipment so I could reproduce my work in small dioramas in my garage. And somewhere along the line I realized that I had built enough laser projectors and worked out a workflow and software, and I actually could start programming laser shows. So I started doing that on a whim and discovered that it was an art form that I really liked to work with.
So what was your experience with lasers? I guess other than building yourself, before working with us, what was your experience with lasers that are out there?
Well, there's been a lot of companies that I've dealt with in the past that have been super shifty, and that's kind of the dogma of the laser world. Is there's a lot of not very reputable dealers and manufacturers, and I discovered xlaser on a laser forum, Photon Lexicon, a number of years ago, and got to know Adam and the rest of the team at xlaser personally, and just absolutely discovered that they are top-notch and have really raised the bar. And I joke with you guys that you're ruining the industry by setting the bar so high and being so reputable, and it's just been a really, really great experience. And one of the things that I love about working with xlaser is I come to you guys with some really non-conventional laser projects, and you just always jump to it, and you always want to participate and want to help and want to provide things that I can succeed with in what I do, even though it's very non-traditional in the laser world. But it's really fun to be able to come to you guys and kind of think outside of the traditional laser show box or the laser show industry. I don't consider myself a laserist. I consider myself an artist who works with lasers. And so I'm bringing things to you guys that I think might be really ridiculous or crazy or any number of things, but there's no hesitation, and Adam is just always, what do you need? What can we do for you? How can we make this work? And that's an attitude that's really rare in this industry and something that I really, really appreciate.
What is your experience on, even without using Mercury, your experience about our units compared to other units, like color, build quality, zoning, the ability to do that?
You guys, xlaser makes absolutely fantastic laser projectors. They're robust. I've put them in field conditions. I've put them in art installations. I've never had any problem with them. I just know that they're going to work the second I power them on. I do use Mercury for safety zoning, and it's been fantastic. I set up museum exhibits with xlaser laser projectors and Mercury, and I just know that at no point lasers are going to enter into spaces that are unsafe, and lasers are always going to operate reliably and consistently. And that's something that is really necessary in these turnkey operations where the people running the lasers are docents and don't really understand or need to know the intricacies of making things work. They just work. It's just repeatable. And I have a lot of confidence in that.
What limitations do you have with using lasers in any of your work?
Lasers are a really difficult medium to work with. There's limitations around compliance, regulatory issues, working with FDA, CDRH, especially in states like New York where I've done installations. You're also dealing with persistence of vision, so there's only so much information that you can display out of a laser projector at once. So I spend a lot of time working with optimizing the content that I'm displaying and thinking about ways to get the information presented to people, but not in ways that it's flickery or difficult to look at. So you think about things like dynamics, you think about things like using dark space to reduce complexity but still increase visual engagement. And the modulation characteristics in xlaser projectors have been really excellent for working with that. Xlaser projectors have great galvos. They've never had any problem displaying the weird and complex content that I'm trying to broadcast. And so they've just been really great units to work with. So a few years ago, I formed a small team with some friends of mine in Canada called Neon Captain, and we developed the Radiator Laser Synthesizer that started as a Kickstarter project and then became quite successful even outside of Kickstarter. We partnered with xlaser to be a distributor of radiators, and they've been fantastic to work with. We actually used xlaser projectors when we were developing the radiator, and even though we've really abused those projectors, they've been absolutely bulletproof, much to my surprise, because in the early days of development we didn't have any output filtering. We were sending just absolutely horrendous signals to the laser projectors, and they took everything that we sent them and displayed it quite beautifully. Our partnership with xlaser has been really successful. I absolutely look forward to expanding on it in the future and upping our partnership and upping the relationship between us and xlaser. That's something that I'm very excited about, and I think that that arrangement will be very good for everybody, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're excited too. Why, as an artist, do you seek out lasers?
Lasers add an amazing visual punch to other light-based mediums. You're never going to see that level of contrast. You're never going to see that level of saturation. The human brain is wired to engage with contrast, color, and motion, and that's exactly what a laser show is. I've been working a lot with lasers over video, and even a low-power laser really stands out across a very bright video projection and adds a uniqueness that is absolutely surprising and absolutely captivating. And I think that it's definitely a thing that I'm going to continue experimenting with. One of the things that I've been playing with a lot is doing video feedback using laser images as the seed crystal to generate the feedback. And I think it's a really trippy and really unique art form that I think is going to go somewhere. I think it's just been a lot of fun, and it's really engaging, and it's something that people haven't seen before, and people are very captivated by it.
Yeah.
Speaking of being captivated by art and various forms of light and art, can you just talk a little bit about the project you just completed in Denver and what that was all about, and kind of how lasers played into that too?
I recently did a project in Denver for arts community called Meow Wolf. What I did was I created a laser orrery projection system that's controlled by guests sitting in giant robot mechs. And sitting in these mechs, you can change modes. You can explore a binary solar system. You can fly across planets and get topographic maps. And you can also engage in a planetary alignment mode where you drive planets into specified positions, you lock them into orbits, and then you open the sky and a wormhole appears. This system involves multiple video projectors. It involves multiple laser projectors. There's a giant cathedral in the room. There's audio, there's lights, there's the mechs move, and all of this is tied together in a very, very complex system. And it's such an incredible experience. You know, the lasers are just one small part of it, but it's a whole orchestra of things that are happening that just make a really, really profound and fun experience. And it's been so much fun just kind of lurking in the back of the room and watching people figure out the puzzle and watching people's reactions when they open the sky and the whole room activates and things. And I think it's a great use of lasers over video, and I'm not even sure if everybody realizes that it's laser projection. It's just another set of tools that are all working together to provide a really fun experience for people.
And what is that like when you know that you've worked on a team to put something like that together, and just like when you said you're lurking in the background, like kind of seeing like people's reactions and things, like from your experience and various kinds of laser art over the years, like what kind of reaction do lasers get that other like types of light may not, or like things that you've seen from being part of an installation that really just make you feel accomplished and happy with what you've done?
I think there's often times when people look at an installation that they may not realize that this is laser based. Mm-hmm. I did an installation that involves lasers into fiber optics, lasers illuminating fiber optics in a long pre-programmed sequence that's synced to music. And I am absolutely confident that when people look at it and enjoy it, they don't realize the machinations of what's happening behind the scenes to keep the lasers in sync, to keep the lasers illuminating the fibers. And that doesn't matter to me. What matters is we've created something for people to be engaged with. We've created for something that people can interact with, or something that people enjoy, or something that sparks something inside of somebody, and they get inspired maybe to do their own thing. And that thing doesn't have to be light. It can be drawing, it can be painting, it can be music, but as long as we can fire something in somebody's brain that encourages them to make their own art, or to do their own installation, or to explore something, I think it's a success. And lasers are the medium that I choose to do that with. But it doesn't matter, as long as you can get something, as long as you can inspire somebody, as long as you can get somebody to do something, to enjoy something, then it absolutely becomes worth it. So I did an installation for the Brooklyn Academy of Music using a near ultraviolet laser projection system onto glow paint, and I created an interface running on an iPad using Touch OSC that talks to the laser projector. And by using this interface, you can draw shapes, you can make sort of mandala style abstracts, and I partnered with xlaser. They created the laser projection system for me. I needed something that met the very stringent New York laser regulatory issues. They absolutely came through. The laser projector that I used was rock solid. The e-stop system worked flawlessly. I had absolute confidence in that installation. I ran it for the first couple of days and then left town. I kept checking in with the museum. They had no problems with it. It just absolutely worked flawlessly. I just had such a high degree of confidence in this laser projector and working with xlasers, and I knew that if I had any issues with it at all, they would drop everything and give me the support that I needed to make it a successful installation. And I'm looking forward to more of those in the future. I've got lots of ideas to build things and do additional installations, and absolutely I'm going to call xlaser when that happens.
What would you like to see from us in terms of, like, if we could, another line of laser, I think that would make it, like, even better for you, scanners or diodes or anything?
One of the big limitations of the laser medium is how much data you can display at once, how complex the pictures or the animations are. I definitely would like to see faster scanners. I would definitely like to see higher power projectors. For the art installations that I've been doing, the powers have been fantastic. But if I want to scale up and project onto buildings and larger rock structures, I would like to have some more power. So I would definitely like to see that direction in the future. I'm here in Baltimore, and we're getting ready to attend the USITT conference. That's the United States Institute for Theater Technology. We're doing a presentation on incorporating lasers into theatrical productions. And I really want to present some ideas for theater people to think about, because lasers are a whole new lighting world that they may not be used to. And I want to show them some concepts and some ideas that they can implement in their own theatrical productions safely and effectively. So hopefully we can broadcast some of that.
That might be it. If you want to plug yourself again.
Yeah.
I'm here to plug xlaser, not me. And you guys are the important ones in the equation.
Thank you so much.
Okay.